Hello everyone and welcome to the F1 corner ahead of the Hungarian Grand Prix just before the summer break. Coming back from Great Britain after Lewis Hamilton won the race and approached only 8 points in front of Max Verstappen. A lot to talk about and obviously a great challenge coming for all the drivers. So let's dive into the news and the expectations. But of course, as usual, remember to smash the like button and to subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss any update regarding the Hungarian Grand Prix and this whole 2021 Formula 1 season. Also, different format today. It is rainy outside, so I cannot really go out and use the selfie stick as I usually do. So deal with it. This is my F1 corner at home. Let's start with obviously the big talk since the last 2 weeks, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen obviously was bombarded with questions regarding the issues that happened, and from what we hear of Verstappen himself, it is something that he kind of wants to move on. You cannot change what happens, so obviously it's no use crying over it and just trying to make sense of what happened. Just need to focus on the weekend ahead. But from the Red Bull team perspective, it is a whole different stories. Red Bull plans actually are appealing of the penalty given to Hamilton of only 10 seconds during the race. They are looking potentially for a race ban or a disqualification. Personally, I think this is just to keep the fire going and play in the mind of Mercedes a little bit. I don't think Red Bull have any hope of winning this appeal, but who knows? But one thing that Red Bull will be very careful of is the power unit in the car of Max Verstappen. For Friday practice, he will be using the same power unit that was in his car in Great Britain when he crashed. So Honda think that the power unit is good enough for racing, but they're gonna make sure of it by running it on Friday. If it's not good enough, they're gonna have to change it, which would be a very big blow at Red Bull considering the limitation in terms of power units allowed. But every signs points to an engine that still works. As for Lewis Hamilton, same thing, wants to move on from that, think he would do the same move again, and he even called Max Verstappen after the race to try and clarify the things between both drivers. Are they back in good terms? I don't know, but just like Verstappen puts it, those guys are racers and they would do it again if it means fighting for the championship. So really, racing incident or Hamilton's fault, I think it's up for debate and will be for quite a while. But for the team themselves, Red Bull coming after a disastrous race in England, they're gonna be looking at making up for it. No points scored in Great Britain is something that we haven't seen in a while at Red Bull. Right now the team is only leading by 4 points in front of Mercedes, but Mercedes in a tremendous form, and the Hungaroring, a track that they like. Lewis Hamilton won the last 3 races there, won 8 times in total in Hungary, could make it 9 this weekend. Will they succeed? It is anybody's guess, but really a track that favors Mercedes at this point in time. One thing's for sure, we are back to a normal weekend format and the championship is on. Right behind them, McLaren and Ferraris, 2 teams that are also very close. Lando Norris, 3rd in the championship, the only driver this season who have scored in every single race. McLaren coming 15 points in front of Ferrari in a heated battle also on their side. Ferrari liking the tracks that have high downforce like we saw in Monaco. They took pole position there and not expecting the same in Hungary, but according to Charles Leclerc, there is high hope of a high midfield battle for Ferrari. Leclerc coming back from a podium in Silverstone, something nobody expected. And you know, the Ferrari is really making a lot of progress compared to their very bad season of last year. McLaren, on their side, I think is going to fall a bit on the shoulders of Daniel Ricciardo. Had a great race at Silverstone, struggling in most of the races before that, still not completely in with that car. What can he do this weekend to prove that finally he is, in the zone? He's gonna have to follow Lando Norris and bring home as many points as possible. The fight between Ferrari and McLaren is very, very heated at the moment. Let's go to Alpine. Alonso celebrating his 40th birthday and says he's feeling just like he's 20 once again. So I think it's only the body that changes, definitely not the mind. Alpine actually had a good race in Silverstone with the 7th and 9th place. Esteban Ocon coming back from a small drought where he was not at ease with the car. They changed the chassis at Silverstone. He scored point in 9th place. And during the interviews, Ocon saying that really since they changed that chassis, he's been really back in it and really feeling the car like he used to at the beginning of the season. Let's hope he can do the same in Hungary. Esteban Ocon had a great start of the season, outscoring Fernando Alonso in almost every races. For the last few weeks, Alonso made his comeback, starting to really getting in it with the Alpine. And I think we are in also for a good challenge here. Alpine fighting for 5th in the championship. If both drivers can consistently score points, this is really going to help them. Aston Martin also had a relatively good weekend in Silverstone. Stroll 8th place. They're looking again at scoring points. Aston Martin, you know, it's one of those teams that is either there or is not at all. I think Stroll is having a good season overall at the moment, but Sebastian Vettel is the one that is struggling a bit more. Been better over the last few races, but like we saw in Great Britain, you know, with not even finishing the race, it is not a great position for him at the moment. He still needs to learn a lot from that team. Still also in the fight for 5th place, and from what we saw recently, Vettel is starting to finally get at ease with that car. A team that needs to improve is AlphaTauri. They are really in that fight for 5th place, which would be their best ever result ever since they were Toro Rosso. Gasly and Tsunoda both, at the back of the midfield at the Silverstone Grand Prix. Tsunoda coming home only with 1 point and Gasly in 11th place, so 0. This did not help them, obviously, but you know, it was one of those tracks where the car just was not working as well as they hoped. But Hungary, a track with high downforce, usually tracks that suits Red Bull's cars, and by Red Bull I mean Red Bull and AlphaTauri. Could be where they make their comeback. Yuki Tsunoda really improving the last few races. After a roller coaster kind of season start, Tsunoda finally starting to improve and get at the level that they expect him to be. Let's talk about Williams. George Russell, the miracle of Silverstone, made it to Q3 at the delight of his team. We'll try to repeat the same in Hungary. But obviously it's going to be tough, but Williams making a lot of progress. This is a very good news, and there's also a lot of talk about, is Russell going to Mercedes or is he staying at Williams? The latest talk, it seems like he pretty much could be going at Mercedes. Toto Wolff not really saying anything at Mercedes, but speaking in terms of he needs to find the best future for Valtteri, does not hint at great news for the Finland driver. Alfa Romeo signed another deal with Sauber for the next 3 years, so the team's gonna continue to exist. There's also question marks about the future of Kimi Raikkonen. Will he stay at Alfa Romeo? There are rumors that Mick Schumacher could take his place next season. One thing for sure, Antonio Giovinazzi is pretty much set to stay, having a great season so far, beating Raikkonen in quali. Not in the race, but Giovinazzi really emerging this season, we should say. After a few seasons where he struggled, he's really getting there and is becoming the driver that Alfa Romeo wants him to be. And finally, obviously, Haas, it's going to be a struggle once again. Schumacher and Mazepin. Bright side for Nikita Mazepin. For the first time last race, he beat Mick Schumacher during a race. So, you know, gonna take your victories where you can, and sometimes they can even fight with the Williams. So we're gonna see. But as we've seen in the last few races, the big talk will still be Red Bull versus Mercedes. Thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to smash the like button and to subscribe, and I will see you again on Friday after the free practice session of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Thank you for watching and see you next time.